A war of words as President Trump condemns Iran for shooting down a military drone. The investigation continues after a body's found in a Bakersfield canal. And fireworks safety on this first day of summer as we head toward the 4th of July. This is 17 News at noon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. Tensions with Iran are escalating nearly to the brink of military action. President Trump called off military strikes on Iranian targets in retaliation for a strike on a U.S. drone. NBC's Richard Engel reports from Doha, Qatar.
A reprisal attack against Iran for shooting down an American drone in the Persian Gulf was underway overnight. The New York Times reports planes in the air, warships in position to attack Iranian radar installations and missile batteries. President Trump tweeted this morning, "We were cocked and loaded to retaliate last night on 3 different sites when I asked how many will die. 150 people, sir, was the answer from a general. 10 minutes before the strike, I stopped it, not proportionate to shooting down an unmanned drone. I'm in no hurry." As late as 7 p.m., U.S. officials were expecting a strike until it was called off with no shots fired, the New York Times reported, citing multiple senior officials involved in or briefed on the deliberations. President Trump holding his cards close to his chest after first hearing Iran shot down the drone.
I think probably Iran made a mistake. I would imagine it was a general or somebody that made a mistake in shooting that drone down.
Iran and the U.S. dispute where the drone was when it was shot down. The Pentagon, releasing these distant images, it says of the drone falling toward the sea, insists the unmanned aircraft was in international waters, 20 miles from the Iranian coast. Iran, which put out its own footage, it says, of the shootdown, insists the drone was in Iranian airspace and this morning began presenting its evidence to international diplomats. Iranian TV showing what it says are pieces of the downed drone. NBC could not verify this independently. And there are conflicting reports this morning about some last-minute diplomatic activity that may have helped avert a military conflict. The Reuters news agency is reporting that President Trump sent a message to Iran's supreme leader saying he does not want war but talks. But Iranian officials say that exchange never happened. Richard Engel, NBC News, Doha, Qatar.
And this morning, the president sat down with NBC's Chuck Todd at the White House for an exclusive interview airing on Meet the Press this weekend. The president had this to say about calling off that strike.
Planes in the air? We're about ready to go. Yeah. No, but they would have been pretty soon. And things would have happened to a point where you wouldn't turn back or couldn't turn back. So they came and they said, "Sir, we're ready to go. We'd like a decision." I said, "I want to know something before you go. How many people will be killed?" In this case, Iranians. I said, "How many people are going to be killed?" "Sir, I'd like to get back to you on that." Great people, these generals. They said, came back, said, "Sir, approximately 150. And I thought about it for a second, and I said, you know what? They shot down an unmanned drone, plane, whatever you want to call it. And here we are sitting with 150 dead people that would have taken place probably within a half an hour after I said go ahead. Yeah. And I didn't like it. I didn't think it was proportionate.
This will be the president's first interview to appear on Meet the Press since being sworn in as president. The extended conversation will air this Sunday at 8 a.m. right here on TV 17. Well, Sheriff's Homicide detectives are investigating after a man was found dead in a canal this morning. Deputies were called out around 5:30 a.m. to a report of a body in a canal in the 4200 block of South Fairfax Road. It's being investigated as a suspicious death.
We have a lot of waterways in Kern County. Sometimes it's pure accident, and sometimes it's not. So we need to, if we have an understanding that it's likely an accident, if it's an accidental drowning or something, detectives won't typically be involved in it. But it's under different circumstances where, we're kind of in the middle of town, and there's no report of somebody missing in this area or along this canal. It's suspicious to us.
Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 861-3110, or you can remain anonymous by calling the Secret Witness Hotline at 322-4040. Meantime, police in McFarland are investigating a deadly shooting. It happened just after midnight in the area of San Juan Street and East Kern Avenue. When officers arrived, they found a man lying on the sidewalk who had been shot and wasn't breathing. Officers and paramedics performed CPR, but the man died at the scene. Police do not know who he is. He's described as a Hispanic man in his mid-20s, 5'7" to 5'9", weighing 150 to 165 pounds, with short black hair and a mustache. Anyone with information is asked to call McFarland Police at 792-2121. The California Highway Patrol is investigating a crash on Highway 99 south of Bakersfield. It happened just after midnight on southbound 99 near South Union Avenue. The CHP says for some reason a Kia sedan stopped partially in the far right lane and partially on the shoulder. The driver called CHP for help. Minutes later, the CHP got a call about the crash. Officers say a big rig was headed south on the 99 in the same lane and didn't see the car until the last minute. The driver tried to swerve but hit the car. Both the semi and car went off the road. The driver of the car died at the scene. The CHP is asking anyone who may have seen this crash or know why the car was stopped to give investigators a call at 396-6600. New information about a priest accused of sexual abuse by a Bakersfield woman. The Diocese of Fresno confirms it's placed Monsignor John Esquivel on leave. As we reported Monday, Sylvia Gomez claims the abuse happened at St. Joseph Catholic Church in the mid-1980s. She says she was molested for 4 months by Esquivel when she was 17 or 18 years old when she worked as a secretary there. Esquivel most recently served as a priest at St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church in Reedley. The Fresno Diocese says 2 people have reported abuse to the Bakersfield Police Department. Police are investigating those claims. All right, thanks so much, Kev. Well, an update on breaking news we brought you this morning on 17 News at sunrise of a car lot fire. It happened on the corner of Brundage Lane and Mount Vernon Avenue in East Bakersfield. 17 News photographer Mickey Van Horn and Tabitha Mills were on their way to another story when they spotted the smoke and called 911. Bakersfield Fire and Kern County Fire were on scene where they found several cars engulfed in flames. No one was hurt and everything was wrapped up shortly after 6 a.m. As we were just mentioning, today is the official start of summer, and that means the 4th of July is right around the corner. The Bakersfield Fire Department's sharing some tips to keep you and your family safe while using fireworks this Independence Day. The department says you should always have an adult supervise children, read directions, keep a water source nearby, use common sense, and only ignite legal, safe, and sane sealed fireworks outside, away from people, homes, and dry grass. BFD also says you should never alter or reignite a damaged firework. Throw fireworks at people or animals, and never carry fireworks in your pockets. Fireworks can only be purchased within Bakersfield city limits from July 1st through the 4th. And while fireworks may be fun for little ones, the furry members of your family will not be in the mood for celebrating, more than likely. Each year, animal shelters nationwide see a spike in animals brought in or on or after the 4th of July. Kern County Animal Services wants to help reunite pets and families with its 4 Days for Freedom program. Through July 3rd, county residents can microchip their cat or dog for free at the shelter. Meantime, Bakersfield residents can take advantage of the same deal at Bakersfield Animal Care Center's Microchip Mania event Saturday. We have posted details about these programs on our website, kget.com. Welcome back in your Health Watch. Imagine growing up allergic to the sun, trapped inside while all of your friends play outside. That was one Memphis child's reality until she got treatment at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Joyce Peterson reports.
It's like burning from the inside out.
At the age of 4, Madeline Havard was diagnosed with erythropoietic protoporphyria, or EPP. Exposure to the sun, toxic to Madeline.
If she got too much, the skin would swell, it could blister, and just feel like it was burning for days.
It was really hard because I'd see my sister go out at the pool in a bathing suit and I'd sit under the umbrella. Or if I wanted to go swimming, I had to wear a rash guard and swim tights and swim socks and a hat and just looks that people would give.
Fewer than 10,000 people on the planet have EPP. Less than 5% of them develop life-threatening liver disease, as Madeline did at age 12. Last summer, she became the first EPP patient ever to receive a bone marrow transplant at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. The procedure required 11 rounds of chemo in 9 days.
Awful. She had every side effect you can imagine. It was pretty intense because they have to kill all that bone marrow in such a short amount of time, so it was a lot of chemo.
And 9 months after her transplant, Doctors told Madeline her EPP is cured. She celebrated with Dad Steve, Mom Polly, and twin sister Sarah Henry with a vacation under the sun.
I went to the beach and it was crazy. Right when my feet hit the sand, I was just smiling and laughing, and it was so fun.
To see her step out on the beach and be with her sister and be able to run and play and laugh, it was amazing.
Madeline's lifetime of covering up now over, and with the sun shining down on her during our interview, Madeline and her mom expressed gratitude for the doctors and staff at St. Jude.
I'm a lifelong Memphian and have run the race. We've done the dragon boats. We've taken tours, been to meetings there, and never did I imagine that my child would need treatment there. But it has been the most amazing experience.
Thank you. It's crazy what they were able to do for me. They changed my life. It's just crazy. It's a miracle, really.
Madeline decided to have a little fun as her hair started to grow back following treatments. She dressed up as different characters such as Doogie Howser, Napoleon Dynamite, and her favorite, 11 from Stranger Things. What a cool story. We're back in your 17 Business Watch and checking stocks to round out the work week. Right now, the Dow is up 65 points so far in trading. The Nasdaq is down 6 and the S&P 500 is up 2. Let's take a look at oil prices. They are rising today. West Texas Intermediate up to $57.48 a barrel, and Midway Sunset started the day at $62.32 a barrel. For all of you staring at your cell phones right now, you're going to want to put it down and listen up. While smartphones and tablets have dramatically changed our lives, there are some signs that they may actually be changing our bodies, too. NBC's Stephanie Gosk now with a study that reveals a potentially high cost of high tech.
We are buried in our phones, bent over for hours upon hours.
Do you worry about your posture when you're on your phone?
Actually, yeah, because I'm a middle school teacher and all I see are kids like this.
Does your neck ever get sore?
Yeah.
It does. And how old are you?
10.
But is all this hunching over actually causing long-term changes to our vertebrae? One study is making that disturbing connection. That small, curved-out bone at the base of the skull is typically seen developing in the elderly. It's linked to posture problems, and now it's increasingly showing up in adults of all ages. According to this study by Australian researchers who looked at hundreds of x-rays, 40% of people between the ages of 18 and 30 who spent more than 4.5 hours on their phones every day developed the growth. It can grow big enough to actually stick out, and while it doesn't hurt, it may be a sign of other problems. A recent study showed the stress on the spine from the head. 10 pounds with good posture, bent down 20 degrees, that goes up to 30 pounds. At a 60-degree angle, 60 pounds. It can lead to something called text neck. The symptoms can include sharp pain and possibly headaches.
We have to keep our heads up. We have eyeballs. We can look down a bit, right? So you can have your cell phone here, but certainly don't do this.
Perhaps it's time to consider using smartphones just a little bit smarter.
That was Stephanie Gosk reporting. Now, most of us are guilty of too much phone time, but there are a few things that the average phone or tech user can do to help avoid this. 1, exercise to strengthen your back muscles. Change the angle of the screen. Maybe prop a pillow under a tablet, for instance, or slightly increase the angle of the phone itself. And the toughest one, use your phone less.